my name's Ben Parsons. I'm the winemaker and the founder of the Infinite Monkey Theorem. The Infinite Monkey Theorem is an old mathematical theory. It basically states that if you set a monkey to typewriter and it had an infinite amount of time, it would type the entire works of Shakespeare. And it really tests your whole understanding of the concept of infinity and the fact that given an infinite amount of time, anything and everything is possible. And in my mind, it's this random letter generator banging away at a keyboard. There's only a certain number of combinations of letters that make words, and therefore, given an infinite amount of time, your random letter generator, which is your monkey, would have to type everything that's ever been written and everything that's ever been written an infinite number of times. And in my mind, it's all about creating order out of this chaotic system. And if you think about having a winery in downtown Denver and growing grapes on the western slope of Colorado at 4,500 feet elevation with a 160-day growing season and late spring frosts and harsh winters and hailstorms, and driving all of that fruit over the mountains and making wine in a warehouse in a back alley in downtown Denver. It's this chaotic system, but somehow we end up hopefully with something that approaches a work of art in the can or the bottle and the keg. And in 2007, started to write a business plan to start an urban winery in downtown Denver, and managed to find investors in the start of 2008, which is when the economy was really tanking, and found this old Quonset hut on the Santa Fe Art District, and started a winery for very little money, and found used equipment from all over the country. And first year we just did 2,000 cases of wine, and that was all bottled wine. And then in 2009 we started putting wine in a keg, which at that time was pretty new as well. And then in 2010 we decided that we wanted to start putting wine into a can. And we approached Ball Corporation, which is just outside of Broomfield, 26 miles north of us. And we were like, we want to put wine in a can. And they were like, well, that's good, because we want you to put wine in a can. And we entered into a whole year-long R&D project with Ball to determine whether the wine would interact with the lining of the can. After a year of comparative taste testing, they determined that there were no significant differences in flavor from 1 month on every month previously. And yeah, we launched that product in 2011. And the whole idea being we're living in Colorado, everyone's hiking, they're skiing, they're climbing, they're floating, they're backpacking. You need a product that you can pack in, you can pack out. Something that you can crush down, that's portable. Aluminum is obviously the most recycled packaging in the world. Americans are more likely to recycle a can than any other packaging. And it's infinitely recyclable, so within 60 days it could be a brand new can with someone else's brand on the shelf. So it really fitted with our kind of urban winery model, our making wine relevant, making wine accessible. What's the most accessible thing you can do with any product is put it in a can, and what's the least pretentious thing you can do with any product is put it in a can. And now that canned wine is distributed in 44 states, and we've helped out a bunch of other wineries that wanted to put wine in a can, and now it's the fastest growing category in the wine industry. And I could probably name another 250 wineries that are putting wine in a can, all because we started doing it back in 2011. And we have when we first started, we had a Wild Goose canning line, and worked with those guys, and then we worked with Scar to bring in the decal that works great. And to be honest, before that we were loading them by hand, so they were all dropping on the floor and falling out, and we were wasting cans. The can cost 14 cents and it was just ridiculous, So we finally kind of stepped up our game. I think we bought that line, that decal, in 2014, and of course it's it's way more efficient, and it makes a ton more sense than just loading them by hand and damaging every other can. So I started working with Scar in 2014, and really they did a great job. They came up here, the install went really smooth, the lines worked great. I don't think I've had any issues with it, and we use it every week for the last 4 years, and I don't think it's gone wrong once. So I would definitely recommend Scar to anyone. So a lot of people, when they think about canned wine, their kind of guard goes up and they're like, ooh, wine in a can, I'm not really that excited about it. But when you think about, this young millennial demographic, and even people younger than that getting into the wine industry, they're so over this kind of unnecessary pretense and procedure and this unaccessibility of wine, and how pretentious and stuck up it can be. And for us, it was all about making it accessible to more people, and we've been doing that now since 2008 with the name of the winery and the fun graphics, and just having a laugh with it really. And I think that it'll continue to grow, and I think that you know, as Denver grows, our winery grows, and Denver's the second fastest growing city in the US, right? And we also have a winery in Austin, Texas, which is very similar. So, you know, we're canning wine down there as well, and it's, you know, it's great. We'll see the growth hopefully continue, and we're in 45 states now, and we're looking at shipping to Taiwan and Israel and the Caribbean by the end of the year as well. So.